Hey everybody, it's Sandwedge and I'm back with the hottest new Doom community releases of the last week. The week started off kinda slow, but then we had quite a few chunky pieces of Doom goodness come out in various stages of release, so let's get into them. Anomaly Report by Valkiriforce isn't new, but it's celebrating its release as an official add-on to the Bethesda Doom boards, so this is a great time to check it out. Anomaly Report is a 33 level megawad for Vanilla Doom 2, meaning you can run this with Chocolate Doom. And it's very much inspired by the original games in the It Did series, but even though it has those vanilla limitations, I found it had a really excellent sense of style and place, even without a lot of fine details. Some levels are abstract, but some have recognizable themes like a tanker ship or a southern New Mexico suburb. Plus, many levels have an open, interconnected feel that allows you some freedom to explore, and I found that the gameplay flows really well through those spaces, and the difficulty is really accessible too. You can play this on almost anything now, even the official port, so there's no excuse to miss it, and it has that Bethesda seal of approval and polish, so I think it's worth checking out. Solar Struggle is a limit-removing Ultimate Doom megawad with a full 4 episodes, and it's now seen its polished release on the id Games archive. This was a community project, but it was a bit more structured than usual, as the basics of each map were sketched out before work started, including the planets each episode takes place on, map names, and even limitations for enemies and weapons. Therefore, even though it's a community project, it actually feels very cohesive, and overall the quality bar is very high. Solar Struggle is Ultimate Doom, but it doesn't have the abstract Doom 1 look, rather going for recognizable themes with different facilities on each planet. So while many are tech-basy type areas, they have far more character than that would usually suggest, often having very thematic layouts and a lot of Doom cute design. I've been playing this WAD for the last month on my channel, and I've been having an absolute blast, even with some of the limitations of Doom 1 compared to Doom 2. And while the difficulty is pretty accessible, levels often have a very fun open flow to them. There's never been a better time to go save the solar system. Pandora is a 35 map megawad for vanilla Doom 2, and it's so vanilla it'll even run in DOSBox. This community project is an ode to that curious legacy in Doom history. The shovelware CD filled with random levels off the internet of widely varying and questionable quality. Now personally, I've enjoyed playing a lot of weird levels off old shovelware CDs like D-Zone Gold, and this project definitely captures some of that feel, but it's actually playable and it's not broken, unlike some of those old shovelware levels of yore. Since this is a community project, there are many interpretations of what shovelware means, but often there's a bit of intentional jank, be it visual or gameplay, without it actually being broken, so it's kind of capturing the best of what shovelware is without any of the worst parts. There's even plenty of amusing sound effects without them being too grating. If this had come out on a CD in 1996, it would have blown everybody away. Altars of Madness is a 12-level boom-compatible map set for Doom 2 by myolden, and it's now been uploaded to id Games, so it's nice and polished. This has been described as a really nice sort of mini Sunlust style map set, and I can see why. It definitely bears some resemblance to that legendary WAD based on its attractive visual designs and intense, cramped, and locked-in encounters that definitely get a bit slaughtery. While it's difficult, the maps are much smaller than Sunlust and can each be beaten in about 10 minutes, so it's a bit more accessible than that megawad. Pistol starts are actually enforced by death exits, so you'll only have the resources the author intends. If you want a more approachable Sunlust, this is the perfect map set for you. The UnMaking is a huge 40 map megawad for Doom 64, and it's one of the biggest ever made for it. This wad by Scwiba, formerly known as Riot, just got an update in id Games release to work with the official Doom 64 re-release, but it also works in other ports like Doom 64 CE and Doom 64X. This project was 5 years in the making, and the author says it's both a tribute to Doom 64 and an experiment to see if they can twist the engine into unexpected scenarios, and I can see why. While it starts out familiar enough, as it goes on, especially into the third episode, things start to get quite elaborate with a lot more experimentation and variation than Doom 64 did. And it's actually fascinating to see what the engine is capable of. The 7 bonus episodes go even further with a hub system and submaps with a completely different visual style. If you're a Doom 64 fan, this is probably a must play as one of the biggest and most elaborate megawads ever made for it. Insatanity is a single boom compatible map for Doom 2 by Man with Gun. And this is actually map 3 of Final Door Closure, the third wad in the Baron Door trilogy. So I normally wouldn't cover one map from a CP, but I had to make an exception for this. Man with Gun is known for some really detailed maps, but this one pushes his style to the extreme with exactly 65,534 line defs, which is literally one line def under the absolute limit. So not only is it a mad experiment on what can be done with Doom, but it actually looks incredible. There's fine details and architecture everywhere you look, all along massive spires that rise up straight into the sky. Not only that, but it's also fun to play with a non-linear layout that boasts a bunch of fairly challenging lock-in set-piece battles. This took me about half an hour to complete. Just be aware that if you have a humble computer, it may not run well in GZ Doom, so ports like PR Boom Plus or DSDA Doom are recommended for better performance. Forsaken Archaism is an 11-level limit-removing map set for Doom 2 by elio.exe. This is technically a compilation of other levels posted by elio.exe, but it was just posted to id Games, so it's a great time to check them all out in one place. Now, unfortunately, elio.exe has said this will likely be their last levels they ever make because they've gotten busy with other things and they've lost interest in mapping. And I think it's kind of a shame because I had a lot of fun with this. It's nothing too elaborate, but these are 11 solid tech-based levels with a fairly accessible difficulty. And you can set aside just a couple of hours, blast through these, and you'll probably have a good time. Curiosity in the Cat is a single limit removing map for Doom 2 by a new mapper, Ravendesk. This first published map is a solid bite-sized slaughter map inspired by projects like Micro Slaughter Community Project and Haste, and I found it to be a pretty good challenge on ultra-violence. It's not that long as it mainly has 2 huge encounters, but you'll probably die quite a few times trying to figure out how to deal with those 2 rooms because they get absolutely jam-packed with all manner of demons. Of course, if you're a Slaughter pro, maybe you'll do a bit better than I did. Anyway, it's always nice to see a new mapper release something great for their first project, so more power to you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found something new to play. Let me know if you like this video and subscribe if you want more of them because I've got more new Doom reviews in the pipeline. Check out the rest of my channel for more Doom content like commentated playthroughs, live streams, edited features, and more. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.